Hey everybody, it's the coach. This is Thursday Night Football on EA Sports. On tap is what should be a pretty good matchup between the New York Jets and the Buffalo Bills. I'll see you again at halftime as we preview some of the action coming up on Sunday. But for now, it's Thursday Night Football. And on the call, as always, is Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Coach, we're just about 4 miles off the shore of Lake Erie at New... Hello, everybody. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden. And, Charles, you take a look at the Bills entering play here. They come in 0-3 and in desperate need of a win.
And as a team, you start to feel a little bit snake pit. They need something good to happen right now so they know it's not just them. They think they have the makings of a good team.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Jets... And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been had he simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. They were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape and their victory last week is they put it together in every phase. Good offense, good defense, and some key plays on special teams. Let's see if they can get that second win in a row.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete. And incomplete, a drop there in the middle third of the field. That'll bring up second down. And he's certainly not a guy that drops that football very often.
Indeed, because that's a bit of a surprise. I know he's in the middle of some traffic and people, bodies all around him, but he usually has the focus to haul that one in.
And nowhere for him to go again. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage. That's it.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. What that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Now it's Darnold. Oh, and this ball's tipped and intercepted. Picked off by Jordan Poyer. And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line. He's coming off a 3-interception performance last week, so certainly not how he wanted to start here.
Not at all, but this is where a quarterback gets tested. This is when we find out what he has underneath that jersey. Because he had a bad game last week. Can he shake off a bad start to this one and start to perform at the level he expects?
They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that'll make this a 2nd and 13.
That's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
And they went for a big play through the air on 2nd down. Couldn't connect. Now it's 3rd.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
Open man is Thielen. It's complete. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. That one goes for 24 yards.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare.
Looking for Perriman, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Jamal Adams. And a short return will be stopped inside the 10 at the 8-yard line. He's at it again, Charles. He had the pick 6 last week. Not a pick 6 here, but an interception.
And it's another Oski, because that's the word we use when we intercept the pass. Oski tells your team to rally around and block for you. Well, that worked really well last week because he had made it all the way to the end zone. This week, he got the Oski, maybe not a touchdown, but boy, he's playing really well.
And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off near the 44.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
Green 39!
They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. They'll wind up losing 4 yards on the play. And that'll lead here to a 3rd down. Now Allen. forced out to his left. He may try and run for this. It's a pickup of 17 on that one, and a Bills first down.
That's something you have to be aware of as a defense and have to find a way to account for him. And if you're not going to use a spy, you're telling your guys to keep your eyes on him, because when he breaks out and makes plays like that, all he does is hurt you.
Have to at least be able to contain him somewhat. There they could not.
Delay of game, offense.
And that'll set him back 5. The delay of game backs him up 5, 1st and 15. And now they'll throw with Allen. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Taco Charlton, he's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year.
This offensive line has struggled. In fact, when we sat down with the coach, he said it's been in tatters lately. They allowed 6 sacks in their last game. Just gave up another one right there.
In tatters, so it sounds a little bit like this right now?
Exactly. It's like that paper being ripped. And right now, they've got to find a way to get it back together.
Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. So the shotgun snap to Allen. And he'll find Thielen on the right side. A good pickup there, 13 yards as they get closer for 3rd down.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or
better against man.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Buffalo touchdown. In for the score, and the Bills have taken the early lead. Boy, it's nice to have that big, reliable target you can go to.
Each and every time. A lot of people see that position as a fallback. Throw it to them when all else fails. Not at all. This guy can make plays, and that's exactly what he just did.
Yeah, play here for a touchdown. A drive that time of 6 plays, and it culminates in a Bills touchdown. Now the punter Dixon out to kick it off. Fielded about a yard deep. Oh, what a move. Oh, and now he bowls him over. And now out come the Jets. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively, obviously. 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit, like, hey, didn't we practice in that color jersey all week, not the one that you're throwing it to? Or maybe you have to be stern with him. But whatever it's going to take to get the message, it has to be done. He's putting the game in jeopardy.
Darnold going to lead the Jets up now, 1st and 10 at their own 23.
Here we go now.
They'll start on the ground with Harris, and he'll take this one up close to the 25-yard line. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
I don't think any of us were surprised that they decided to start this drive on the ground after the last 2 drives ended in interceptions.
Unfortunately, though, not a lot going on that first play.
Yeah, I think the anticipation was felt also by the defense.
Harris, and able to break 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. He'll pick up only a yard there, and it'll leave him with a 3rd and 7.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive. And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively.
Now let's go. Green, 39.
The shotgun snap for Darnold. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
Plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back, because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him, Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from it. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
On fourth down, here's Lachlan Edwards to punt it. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. This is taken at about the 14. It's a nifty return of 29 yards. And the Bills will take over the football with a 1st and 10. Offense now, they get set to head back onto the field. That last drive, it was a good mix. Run, pass, defense on their toes.
And what really helps out in a big way is when you're doing the run-pass mix and everything's working, that means that they're guessing wrong every time on defense. They think you're going to pass when you run and vice versa. I would continue that, and when they finally draw a beat on you, maybe you mix it up a little bit, a little play action and throw the ball.
And will they maintain that balance? Time to find out. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. That one goes for 24 yards. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Now a handoff looking right. Finding room to the 20. Escapes the defender. A big chunk on the ground there, 27 yards.
Outside handoff to the right side. If you're a running back, you love getting the ball early so you have vision to see what's happening in front of you.
Right tackle likes that call. Big play for him, but don't forget about the guys you always tell me on the backside sealing off.
Well, they talk about cutoff blocks, making sure no one can leak from the backside that can run a play down.
And nobody leaked. Big play.
The NFL on EA Sports is presented by Snickers. You're not you and you're hungry. Snickers satisfies.
With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Second quarter about to get underway with the Bills in possession. And they've got it here with a 1st down. To the air, Allen. And that is caught. Touchdown, Buffalo. Adam Shaheen, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Bills will extend their lead. Sometimes those tight ends are a mismatch. They found the mismatch there.
And that's exactly why you want to drop those types of plays, because coverage is just going to go to the natural guys, the guys that make the big plays on the outside. But if you work your tight end into it, that's a tough one for a defense to handle.
Tough. They couldn't handle it. It worked out for 6. Now the extra point. No problem there on the extra point, and it's now 14-0. Now the punter Dixon out to kick it off. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Sam Darnold leading the offense out for their next possession. He and his team, they have had a rough go of it here in this first half. Maybe time for him to put his foot down here in the second quarter.
Put his foot down and become a little more accurate throwing the football. He's already thrown 2 interceptions. He's trying to find a way to equal things out. And instead of it going to the opponents, get it to his own receivers and find the end zone.
Yeah, you mentioned those 2 picks. No touchdown passes yet either. Darnold going to lead the Jets up now, 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. On first down, Darnold. Well, the catch is made here by Tyler Lockett. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. That play going for 16 yards to start the drive. First down.
When you're struggling on offense, you're looking for anything possible to get you going. Sometimes you do it like basketball teams that don't normally press. You put a press on, bring people to life, make them move a little bit quicker. Maybe that'll help them as they head towards the half.
That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
When you put together a formula for winning defense, it's exactly what we're seeing in this game. Controlling the line of scrimmage, attacking, and changing everything so that now they're playing in the offense's backfield. But they're playing an excellent game.
He completes it to Julio Jones. That one goes for 24 yards. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is, because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
On 1st and 10, Darnold. Wide open receiver, complete. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Another big hitter there. This one good for 18.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the first down.
First red zone opportunity now for the Jets. 1st and 10 at the 19.
Here we go now. Green 39.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And it's incomplete. Boy, he doesn't drop many like that one. 2nd down. Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better. Got to get more help. Obviously one that should have been caught. They got to find a way to bring those 2 elements together so they can make some progress in this one.
And this is caught at the 8. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. The Jet passing game in rhythm. They've got another first.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete. A line of scrimmage once again, the 5, as they get ready for 2nd and goal. To the air again, Darnold. And this is going to be incomplete. Robbie Anderson, the man he was looking for. And it's 3rd down.
Not only did they drop what looked like an interception in the end zone, they blew a golden opportunity to shift the momentum.
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass.
Now let's go. Green 39.
Again, Darnold. And he's unable to haul it in, so it falls incomplete over the middle 3rd of the field, and that brings up 4th. How about the defensive stand here from 1st and goal, 3 straight incompletion?
Yeah, I think people are wondering why didn't they try and run it at least once in there. But once the first incompletion happened, it's almost like they were committed to throwing the ball from then on out.
A good drive gets him inside the 5, but they could not punch it in.
And credit the defense, too. Make sure that that happens because that was the old bend but don't break approach. Made sure they contained them when they absolutely had to and forced the field goal attempt that went through.
Gostkowski now converted for 3. Now he'll kick this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. And now running right through it. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Quarter, a guy like him, no catches, so that's the surprising part, but they're winning, so maybe they've been able to do some other things effectively, I guess.
And they found other ways, haven't they? Because the receivers would tell you, offense needs to run through us, but they're managing to get it done in this ball game without having to actually do that. I wouldn't expect them to stay silent for the rest of the game.
Yeah, you got to think that his first catch is coming at some point. Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
It'll be a pickup of 5, and that leaves him with 5 more. 3rd and 5 now. Working out of the shotgun. Here's Allen. Being chased out left. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A pickup of 24 on the 3rd down conversion. Here's Breida. And he's got this down to the 35. 11 more yards that go around, a 1st down as well.
We both know it's difficult, but they've made it look effortless out there. Through the air, on the ground, they've moved the ball with relative ease.
Right back to him on 1st down. And not much running room. Down to the 32. Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
And down inside the 15 he goes. Allen's first catch, good for a 1st down. Two minutes to go here in the 1st half. Back to Buffalo after this. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our 1st half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. And his throw here's incomplete. Keenan Allen, the intended target, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on 1st down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on 1st down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up 2nd down.
And he'll fight forward maybe to the line of scrimmage, but that's all. Back-to-back stops make it 3rd and 10. Throwing is Allen on 3rd. Eluding the pressure right. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. The Jets are going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. And this one is right through. And they will stretch the lead now to 17-3. That drive took him inside the 10. Good job defensively to hold him to 3.
Yeah, I like how you did that. Give a little tip of the cap to the stop troops there because they didn't give up a touchdown in that situation, right? Made them kick the field goal. And, yeah, points went against them, but that feels a whole lot better running off the field.
There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. And for him, it's been pretty limited involvement. Down on the scoreboard, maybe time to turn to this guy.
And you know me well. Winning games to me means starting with the running game and continuing to press the running game. Maybe you go away from him a little bit now, but the bottom line is he hasn't touched it enough to make a difference.
Well, they haven't established that running game yet. The question is, will they?
I know we're just in the 2nd quarter and there's a ways to go in this game, but that's his 2nd drop. I'm wondering if that's a little bit of an alarm bell for them when they start calling plays on the offensive side of the ball.
His eyes already looking upfield on that last one before he brought it in. It'll be a gain of 4. And they're going to face a third down. They should have got more out of that, though. He was wide open.
I love how emphatic you are with that call because that's exactly what I was thinking. Wide open in the flat. Give him a ball that he can use to get upfield with, not just catch and go over the sideline. They cost themselves some yardage there.
Now the throw on third down, knocked away and incomplete. Boy, the numbers throwing the football just not trending in the right direction. Last week he was under 50%. He's under 50% again here.
And we haven't gotten an announcement, but it appears to me that he might be a little dinged up and is just trying to play through. You know, he's one of those tough guys that wants to answer the bell each and every play for his team. That might be throwing off his accuracy. Nearly a huge return as it is. Still a very good one. 24 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Detroit!
Throwing on first down is Allen. And that is incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
Over!
Back to the air on second down. It's Allen. Going deep here for Allen. And he's unable to grab it. Thought he might have had position, couldn't hold on, third down. Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback. And the Jets pressure too much as down he goes. Now the Jets are going to burn another timeout as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number one. And now following that timeout, the defense back out onto the field. 4th down, so on is the punter, Riley Dixon. Back deep, the dangerous Tyler Lockett. And last week in the loss, 5 punts as he gets this one away. And that'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And the Jets will take over 1st and 10. So out now come the Jets. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something? You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here. A final shot before the break. Darnold going underneath. It's Coleman. And he'll be out of bounds across the 25. And now due to apparent time constraints, we fast forward to the beginning of the second half. So we've reached halftime here in Orchard Park with the Bills taking the lead into the break. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. Out come the Bills now as they'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach. It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team. With their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here. Still third quarter, but you just get that feel. Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they? And he works his way forward for a couple up past the 30. Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball. Force the incompletion on first down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on second. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in an expected passing situation. And this is going to be incomplete. Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on third down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Now it's Lockett. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Here's the Jets offense now getting set to start off this third quarter. They were able to get the stop defensively. Now a chance to turn that into points on the offensive end.
Can you imagine what the grease board looks like at the half? Because
tell me.
That's exactly what they printed up. Stop them on defense, get the ball back for our offense, and go downfield and score some points. Now, the last part remains to be seen, but they got the first part done very well.
Do people use grease boards, or you mean the magic marker boards?
Yeah, those two.
Here's Darnold. That's caught right side by Anderson. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. Give him 30 yards there.
Press coverage on the outside, and for defenders, that's the ultimate risk-reward. If you take the risk, can you reward yourself by keeping them on the line of scrimmage? But no, not on that one. Got to step on them. Now it's just a matter of laying the ball out there for him to go get it.
They run with Harris, and he'll fight his way down right around the 12. Tackle made there by Matt Milano.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Give him 6 yards on the carry. It's going to be 3rd and 3 now.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, got to make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
Now Darnold got a man. It's caught. Touchdown, Jets. Robbie Anderson, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Jets are able to make this a close game again. That's the score you felt they had to have here in the third quarter to get back in this game.
And you know that there was an emphasis on their side. Hey, we know this. We know where we are. But sometimes that binds you up so much that you try too hard, you don't get the score. A perfect combination of urgency, yet relaxed enough to get it done.
And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. And here come the Bills. Certainly want to avoid what they had to do last possession. That was punt the football, because this game's starting to tighten up.
In a basketball sense, you think about taking a little bit of the air out of the ball, right? Maybe milk some clock, limit the possessions. In this case, they might want to do the same thing, but control the game offensively. Put together some first downs, put together a drive, and keep it away from them. Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
Allen, they'll roll him out right. Wide open receiver complete. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
Pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a first down.
And he's going to go down. Back near midfield at the 49. Vernon Butler coming up the middle, gets him there for a loss of about 9.
Like how they started the third quarter here. They forced a punt on the first drive, and after this sack, it looks like they'll be forcing another one as well.
Absolutely. Maybe got their second win coming out of the locker room. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. This time a spin, and they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. That one good for 17 as they're set up better now for third down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
To throw, it's Allen. He'll find Thielen, work in the middle. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another first down. Allen now on first down. Allen hit. He lost the football. And the Jets have recovered.
With no running backs in the backfield to help pass protect, all the receivers and their patterns, it's going to be hot routes. If they sense a blitz or pressure on the quarterback, they've got to be prepared to break routes off early and get the football. In this case, never even had a chance. They popped the ball free in the backfield.
And he'll rumble for about 5, up close to the 40. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now, the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Wiggles free, and he is out of bounds inside the 30. They get 10 more there, and I believe that'll be enough for another first down. It will.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that.
And he is going to be taken down. And that should be the final play of this third quarter. Matt Milano coming on the blitz. He gets him for a loss of 7. Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a second down and 17. It's Jet football, but they trail here. Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on second down.
All right, here we go. 3-19.
Darnold from the gun. Oh, he'll want that one back. Incomplete. He doesn't drop too many in that department. Third down.
He has just not had his focus in this game. It's not one drop. It's not 2. That's 3 for this contest.
Yeah, uncharacteristic for any NFL receiver, and he's no exception. Drops it off for Coleman. And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone. They'll get 11, but it'll still lead to a fourth down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss.
And this is going to be intercepted. Tre'Davious White with a pick. So now he's equaled his interception total from a week ago. Remember, Charles, he had 3 last week.
And you know, all week long, he vowed to take that number down. Told the guys on the team, don't worry, things are going to pick up. I've got this. But he is in a major league rut right now. Let's see if his teammates can pick him up along the way.
You're right. He talked about being cool, calm, collective, rebounding. Not rebounding right here. The improv on the scramble there gets him 6, and it'll be second down.
And that was not a bad scramble there on first down. He didn't force it, nor did he throw it away. He was able to take off, and now he made it a very manageable second and short.
And he almost had it defensively. Could have been a game changer there in this second half. Instead, it's third down.
I think he's taking an awful chance with the football right there. You've got to lead, you've got to protect it, and he's taking chances putting it out there in a little bit of jeopardy.
Especially in a spot like this, fourth quarter, as you said, trying to cling to that advantage.
Yeah, that one probably should have been picked, huh?
And a quick slant gets exactly 10, and by the nose of the football, they've got a first down. Here's Allen to throw it, fighting to stay upright. Dancing to his left. He'll get 10 there all on his own, but it'll be second down.
Well, he did a nice job keeping his eyes downfield, waiting for someone to get open. But once the pressure forced his eyes down to see the rush, it was time to make a break for it.
On second down, there's the option going left. And he probably should have given that one off as he's going to get hit and taken down behind the line.
I don't think there's any doubt that if it's me, I'd be really cautious about continuing to call this play because you got to know, defenders, if they get a free shot at the QB, they want to take it, and they want to take it big.
And they got it there on the option play for a loss. First time they've looked his way in this game, he comes through picking up the first.
Couldn't just sit on it here, could they? Had to throw the ball on third down. Got the big completion in the pickup. Fresh set of downs now. They've got to feel great.
And defensively, a backbreaker. Lets it fly for Thielen. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. The safety, Jamal Adams, able to break that one up.
And you just know when that play call came in, their eyes lit up because anytime you get a chance to take a big shot downfield, that's a lot of fun, and they missed an opportunity.
Flushed out right. And he almost had it defensively. Could have been a game changer there in this second half. Instead, it's third down. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. Keeps himself upright. He can run for it, and he will. So a nice job to break the one tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. 5 yards that time out of the scramble, but now they're looking at a 4th down situation. He'd had some success as a runner previously on this drive, just not as much space there that time.
Yeah, this time when he pulled it down, they were ready for him, so I think he's going to have to fling a few in order to open up that running lane again.
Yeah, that is much too long. That's into the end zone for a touchback. Now the Jets offense gets ready to head back on the field. And 3 interceptions in this game. I would have to think, I wasn't a quarterback, but number 4 is kind of, you're like, oh man, I can't throw 4.
No, what's interesting is what do the coaches decide to do now? Having thrown 3, do you alter your offensive strategy? Do you take the ball out of his hands and maybe turn to the running game? Or do you have that supreme confidence that he's going to turn things around?
We'll see what they do. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Operating from the 27 now. Here's 2nd and 3.
Hurry up, here we go. Green, 39.
A play fake, and it's Darnold. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Tre'Davious White with a pick. And his guys are going to get the football at their own 47-yard line. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offensive coordinator, the quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm. Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect him to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs.
He'll be taken down. The Jets get in there for the sack. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle. Time for a break. We'll come back, see what transpires after this. So it's Bills football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Looking for Allen. He's got him on the slant. So fresh out of the 2-minute warning, and here's another timeout taken with 1:55 remaining. Now, this is a big 3rd down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop him here.
Now let's go.
Allen to throw. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. So his 2nd field goal of the game, and that could turn out to be the big one.
Yeah, you have to make them score twice to beat you, and that's not impossible. But here in the 4th quarter, push their backs clearly against the wall.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line.
Now let's go.
They'll start out on the ground with Coleman. A good run there on 1st down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2. And it's a rush to the line right now for the Jets. Now Darnold. That's incomplete. Nearly another pick. My goodness. Tried to go for the big one there on 2nd down. Now they're likely down to their final 2 plays.
And you know they've got to keep going for the big shot, right? So defensively, you play what they call top down. Nothing behind you. Make everything get completed in front.
Now a desperation throw deep down. And this is intercepted. And that should do it. picked off at the 25. And they will take over at the 26-yard line. Yet another interception, and I just had to double-check my math. But it is now 8 between last week and this week.
Well, I just used a calculator. I didn't worry about double-checking it. But the thing that always throws me when you see quarterbacks in this type of a bad spot, they're trying to figure out what they can do to change it, and sometimes they try too hard, and they never get out of it. And that's where he is right now. He's just locked in a really bad way.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. To the air, Allen. His throw incomplete. The intended receiver there, Allen, and it's 3rd down. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is it allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
Throwing now is Allen. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Sometimes the coverage is so good, no matter what you're doing on offense, you just can't shake anyone free. They try their best to find someone open. But
a big rush, and it's blocked. Jets come after him, and they get him. Now it's scooped up, and this is a live football.
Yeah, baby. Yeah, baby.
Well, if you were ever wondering, should I believe my special teams coach about, these plays are valuable? Think no more. Huge play, big block, and now they've set up their offense inside the 10-yard line. A chance to score.
So a great special teams play. They blocked the punt and excellent field position, 1st and goal. Now it's Darnold, and it's incomplete. Boy, he doesn't drop many like that one. 2nd down.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. He'll get it up the middle. And this is going to result in losing yardage. They're driven back to the 8-yard line. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down. Darnold. And this is going to be caught. No, they say it's incomplete.
And that's a crusher right there. Had his man open for a 1st down. Throw a fastball when that wasn't necessary. Incomplete pass.
So the ref makes a call. No touchdown there. Wipe it off the board. And Gostkowski's kick is good. And that will tighten this one up a bit. Now a 1-score game at 20-13. So we're back to a 1-score game, and now you figure we'll likely see an onside kick.
Yeah, they've only got the 1 timeout remaining, so I think they've got to take a chance at getting the ball back.
So still a little over 40 seconds to go. Time enough to put a drive together if they can get this onside kick. And now the Bills are going to stop it as they call a timeout. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. And this is going to be recovered by the Bills, and that should all but do it. 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we've brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
The Bills on their way to victory now as they take the knee.
And there it is, Brandon, taking a knee. They get their first win of the season. They're now 1-3. And I remember when a 1-3 start meant you didn't even talk about going to the playoffs. Nowadays in the NFL, you still got a shot.
Yeah, and a big difference between 1-3 and 0-4.
I think they're going to practice really well next week, riding this momentum of this win.
And, Charles, I think when the schedule comes out, all teams, no matter where they're predicted to finish, talk about protecting your home turf. They were able to do that here in this one.
Similar to a tennis match, right? Not letting them break your serve. That way you hold on to it. They got it done, and they feel very good about that victory.
So for the Bills, it took a few weeks, but they finally get their first one of the season here in Week 4. And they'll get a few extra days to get ready for next week where they take on the Pittsburgh Steelers. Meanwhile, for the Jets, they'll fall back to 500 at 2-2. And fortunately for them, they'll have the early bye next week as they return to action in Week 6. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Thanks to our entire crew as well. We'll talk to you next time. So long, everybody.